Yo, how's everybody doing today? And today we have something special, something different. We are going to review the 9 screenshots that Giants shared with us, and we are going to see all the details that we have inside them. I hope you enjoy, so let's get started. We're going to start with the first image, the one with the catapult on it. Quite cute to see an old piece of a war machine in there. But what is important in this one is that we can see clearly a classic constructions there, looking old and properly made. We can see also that the landscape and the terrain elevation looks quite good. The house is base ground, and then we have a quite high elevation till the top of the hill. That is looking amazing. In that hill too, we see the rock textures and the volume of them. They kinda go out of the hill. They are looking quite good. I don't see those in 19. Then we see also the construction's complexity is improved. Not only flat surfaces with just the windows, we see details on the houses. We see the trim on top of the roof, different heights of the chimneys, and also in the highest building that we see on the right of the screen, we see the small details at the sides, the small squares. They are not flat. They are 3D, and that is looking quite good. Also, talking about the catapult, a working catapult, maybe DJ will love it to use that catapult in the game. Now there's something that caught my attention, and it's a freaking air balloon. What is that balloon doing there? You don't see them quite often. But anyways, now mention the sky. We'll talk about the sky later, but the sky is the thing. Well, we'll see that one later. Now also, the trees coloring and the color palette is used here. It's looking amazing. You can see the bright leaves on top left of the screen. You can see the shadows down below projected by, of course, the tree branches and stuff. And you can see that on top they look bright, and at the bottom they look darker. That's ambient occlusion, and that is making and giving it a very nice effect. Also, classic trees at the sides of the streets, at the sides of the constructions. These tall trees, don't know the name in English, but it is looking quite nice. Now then, the foliage decoration that you see, all the grass, different types of flowers, different type of bushes and stuff. It's looking quite good. It's looking natural. Of course, next to the catapult, there's nothing. Well, it's kind of flat, but well, someone needed to put it there, so well, we're gonna leave the catapult alone. Also, as I was saying, the shadows and the ambient occlusion application, it's looking quite amazing. So I'm excited about that one. The next picture is, well, you can see a distant castle. This is clearly a landscape, like photo shot picture. You can see the distant castle, but you can see the shapes of the castle. You can see the arch, you can see the trees, and the elevation of that hill where this castle is located. We see these high trees, which I don't reckon quite good in a European landscape, but it might be only me that I don't know. Of course, we have the freaking balloon. I don't know what that balloon is doing there, but anyways, balloon is there. In this picture, we can see again the elevation and the different elevation of the terrain, how it's shaped. It's looking quite good. Also, something represented here, or I believe it's trying to be represented here. You can see the classic fog at the end of the afternoon, evening, beginning of the evening, when the sun is falling, and there is humidity there. We have a river, so there is humidity, and you can see that this fog is clearly represented there. It's looking quite nice. Also, going back to the colors, you can see the back of the trees at the bottom of the screen, like the leaves that you can see, they are looking way darker than the ones on top. That's because the sun is hitting the ones at the front but not hitting the ones at the back. This color palette difference is looking quite good. Also, details on the leaves bottom left, they are looking quite good. They are not just plain and easy like leaves. They are looking quite detailed, so, and I like that. I like the details. Now the observatory. Not much to say here. It's a picture taken at night. We can see a classic Citroen there. I don't know if, well, the brand's not going to be there, but that's a Citroen. That's a Citroen. That's a classic French vehicle, classic French brand. We can see it in here. What it's calling the attention on that picture is the illumination and how it affects inside the dome. You can see this yellow reflection, but this yellow reflection ain't leaving the dome. On the outside, you see a cold, like a bluish light reflecting the top of the dome and reflecting everything else. You see the clear light on the cars. You can see the small shadow projected by the building. Hopefully this like by the moon, I don't know. You can see also how the observatory letters, they do have shadow. They are 3D. They do have their own shadow. You can see shadows in the street, in the parts that are not illuminated by the lamp lights. And also at the right bottom corner, we see a small area illuminated there with a yellowish light, not so whitey, and it's looking also quite good. Now the picture of the silos. In this picture, you can clearly see that it's autumn, or I would say this is autumn. You can see that there is well, the Citroen. If you pay attention, right bottom corner, you can see the orange car with the wheel at the back. That's again another Citroen, classic French brand. Silos looking good, construction looking good, nicely detailed. You can see some lights turned on at the building. I don't know why at this time of the day they will be turned on, but it's looking good. Again, we need to review and we need to mention the foliage distance that we have here. It's improved. We can see far away. You can see trees. If you look at the left of the screen, you can see trees up there in the distance when there is a little bit of snow. That's very far from where the picture has been taken. And you can see the tree. So that's actually quite good. Also, the leaves on the trees and the color palette on the trees, if it's autumn, it's looking nice, but I'd say it's too vibrant. They are too shiny. These yellow should be decreased a little bit. It might be the image, it might be the computer where the screen was taken. And we're gonna mention again the sky. Just leave it there, the sky. Now, the only detail that I can see there is that is a weird glow below the trees. These trees glow, and I don't know why. It's kind of weird. We're gonna make a zoom in that, but it's kind of weird. I don't know why. Now this is a very nice picture. First thing that got my attention, freaking balloon, get out of there. Also, this blue Citroen is there in the center of the picture, just below, behind the first boat. You see the blue Citroen there. That's awesome. Balloon, get out. Now, important things that I really like to see here, and I'm happy to see, water reflections. Those water reflections and the water distortion that it creates on the reflections, it's looking quite good. Now, it will be nice to have some extra transparency and to be able to see the elements that are closer to the surface, removing a bit the perfect mirror effect. Reflections are quite nice, but they wouldn't be that perfect in real life, in a real environment. They wouldn't be that perfect. That could be improved. Now, something that it's I don't know. Again, the sky. We're gonna talk about this one later. But yeah, the now element on this picture that needs to be mentioned. The details and the level of detail of far elements. You can see clearly all the details in the houses on top of that hill. And that is awesome. You can even read this billboard that is there. You can have the impression that you can see inside the houses. You can see also the foliage in front of the houses. It's looking quite good. Now getting into the first close-up picture to the Massey Ferguson tractor. We've been seeing and taking a look at these tiny tractor for a while. Of course, we see the balloon again. That it bothers me. Sorry, it bothers me. Balloon shouldn't be there. Now we need to mention in here this is a mini baler with mini balers. That's quite cool. We're gonna review the video later, but that's quite cool. and I like it. Now, we need to mention also the terrain shape and the smoothness of it. It's quite good. We don't see hard edges, sharp edges on it. It's looking nice. Terrain and cut of the crops. You see the crops that been harvested here. It's looking randomly. It's not looking like following a pattern, and I mean, I like it. I like it. There is also some drops in the middle, not only the dirt in there. It's looking random and natural. Again, the draw distance highly improved in between 19 and 22. You can see clearly elements that are far away in the distance. You can see them clearly, and it's glad to have it there. We don't see the Zetor here. I cannot find it, but I'm sure it's somewhere. We'll see the next picture. Now, this is a picture that I want to talk about because an element that might not be interesting to everybody, but I like it. First of all, the balloon is there. Of course, the balloon needs to be there, and I'm quite sure the Citroën is there. And yes, it is. Just below the implement, you see the small blue piece in there. That's the Citroën. So we found the two elements that are there. Now, before we get into the element that I want to talk about, there is something about the vineyards that I don't like. The leaves are looking random and naturally when harvested, but the positioning of the poles looks like made by a computer. It looks like a computer made the poles same exact distance, same exact alignment. I know it's a new tool to create them, but some randomness there will remove the effect of being in a video game. That will be something nice to see. Now, getting into a detail that I see, that is a new metal. We see a new metal there. We see new reflections. That's a new sort of steel. There is the top part of it. It looks darker. And it looks like this is the part of the metal that goes inside of the tool. You can see that it matches the extension of the top with the extension of the piston that it's in the center. Now that chrome is also looking quite nice. Let's see how or what the chrome is going to reflect. But so far I can see a new type of steel with a new pattern. I can see a new shiny chrome maybe. We can see new used or greased parts without a cut, without like here is one metal and there is the other metal. There is some sort of transition in between these two, and it's nice to see. And we see also a brass type of metal in the pins and the bolts, and it's well, I'm excited to see what can I do with the new UDIM specifications, because that is new. That's not in 19. Now, as I mentioned, the leaves to be cut or to be like removed from the poles are looking random and natural. That's kinda cool. And we mentioned it at the beginning. The Citroën and the balloon are there too. So, to the next one. We've mentioned here, we've seen that picture, in the video we see that rock picker. That is a new type of field unit, rocks. And if you are able to pick up rocks, what are you going to be able to do with them? Production chains? Who knows? But now paying attention to that picture, we can see a heavy and strong parallax occlusion applied to the ground for the first time. Let's zoom in. This is aggressive, typical of games that are using terrain deformation. You can see that one tire is deep in the ground, the other tire is not in the ground, it's not going deeper. So that is quite nice. That is quite nice. We can also see bottom left how the rocks are integrated with the terrain. They are not just on top of it. They are like integrated in the ground, and that is kind of cool. We have to mention also about the global picture and the global feeling. We have different types of landscape, weather, the same area. I don't think that we're going to have that, but in this case we have some sort of spring ending feeling in the field, in the greens of the trees and everything. And at the very end we have a bold mountain full of snow. It looks cold, but at the same time with very, very dark greens. So it looks like the beginning of winter, or even the mountains that are typical in Europe. We have permanent snow on them. Who knows? Whatever. I like it. I like it. It feels more natural. For the first time, the sky looks different. Well, Let's see. Now, we can see also now paying attention to the tractor and to the details. That is a new detail at the back window. We have these lines that are heaters for the rear window. That's new. I don't recall seeing them, but that's kind of cool. We can also see that the ambient occlusion here is heavily used and very well used. The front of the weight, we can zoom in, the front of the weight is way darker than the illuminated parts, and I like it. Now, one thing that I don't like, the corn or the crop that you see at the right of the screen at the next field, it's looking horrible. I'm sorry, it's looking horrible. I don't know why. Maybe the picture, maybe I don't know. But that picture, I know this picture is meant to be for the ground and rocks and stuff. But this corn texture is looking horrible. That one's going to be one of the favorites for everybody. The snow or the winter. Oh my, there is a lot to talk about on that picture. This is looking better than ever. Okay, in the last examples, the winter pictures, they were looking good. This one is looking amazing. Now let's pay attention. The trees without leaves, the branches, the details on them, you can see the deepness. Let's zoom in. You can see the deepness there. And it's looking absolutely amazing. The level of detail on all these branches, it's looking outstanding. Also, the trees, the left, again, the parallax occlusion applied to the trees, it's looking it's looking way better than we have right now. Of course, we have the blue Citroen just parked down there, and I don't see the balloon, but I'm sure it's somewhere. Anyways, we can also see different winter effects applied to that picture. The snowflakes, of course, we can see them falling. Now, if we zoom in the road, in the same road, we can see up to four different types of winter effect. We can see the icy looking texture at the side of the street when they are getting closer to the snow. We can see that the snow accumulated on the sides looks brighter, looks like kind of compacted somehow. And we can also see that around everywhere the snow looks fluffy. It looks like fluffy snow. It looks like natural, and it's quite good. You can also see the animals, the deers there, with their feet deep in the snow. It's actually a nice detail to have. And last but not least, if we zoom in the roof of that house, you can see clearly that the snow mask is looking extremely better than it was before. It's not looking like you put a sleeve on it. It's looking fluffy, irregular on the edges, and roundy. It's looking quite good. Well, as we said, 9 screens, but 9 screens full of detail. We hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned because there is more. Giant shared with us also a set of videos, and we are working on something similar but with the videos and with the details that we can see in them. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And remember, if you're not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing to the channel, and also if you do, remember to activate the notification bell so you don't miss your notifications and you know when we are here, new videos, new streams with 82 Studio. And as usual, having said that, be nice, play nice, and see you in the channel. Bye.